Hello everyone and welcome to the shared Mindfulness guided meditation. Thank you very much for being here. I know we have Wendy and Lisa and Daniela, and I know there are others who listen when they get home from work. So we're here to support each other in our formal meditation practice. We know that mindfulness is good for us and we only reap the benefits if we actually do the formal practice. So here we are. It's a lovely sunny day and I decided that I could broadcast outside. So this opens up a whole new set of sounds probably to listen to. There's the river and the birds, and I think the man who was using his chainsaw is having lunch. So we're going to share a bit more than 10 minutes of guided meditation and then a few words about blocks to practicing. So I invite you to adopt a dignified posture. It helps us to stay alert and to remember to be extra warm and kind and easy with yourself as you practice. The fact is you're here, and that's good for you and that's good for everyone else. We're keeping each other practicing. So when we're ready, closing our eyes for meditation, mindfulness of the breath. Allowing ourselves to come into the body, feeling where you're sitting, your weight on the cushion or the chair. Exploring the warmer places of contact, the cooler places of less contact. Noticing if your weight is distributed evenly or not. Changing nothing, simply observing what's there, what physical sensations are apparent in the body as we sit. We might notice the physical feelings in our feet, in our hands, And with a light and friendly approach towards ourselves, we can notice if those feelings change as we observe them. Not thinking about the body, but actually feeling it, inhabiting it, being in it and present, and really here. And once we've landed, as if coming home in a way, we can invite our attention to the breath. Noticing the movements generated as the body breathes at its own natural rhythm. Adopting the position of the witness. Observing the movement, however subtle, and picking up the detail with kindly curiosity. And noticing how each breath feels. The rise and fall of the rib cage. The swelling and shrinking of the belly. The air passing in the nostrils. In the throat. Noticing the place right now where you're most easily in touch with the breath. allowing your attention to linger there. And as we observe with greater and greater kindness, we can develop a greater awareness of those physical sensations of perhaps the skin against our clothes, the slight stretch of our tummy, the brushing past of the air. Having the patience to explore the subtle physical sensations of breathing. Nothing else to do right now but practice this valuable skill of being in the moment, in mindful awareness. Following each breath, attentive, curious, kind with ourselves when the mind drifts off. Having the discipline to bring our attention back and notice the body, notice the breath. Notice the evidence of now. Being here and completely allowing ourselves to live the moment. Aware, spacious, accepting, no judgment. Just this experience, this breath, these wandering thoughts. This commitment to come back to the now as many times as is necessary. And just a few more breaths in mindful awareness. Extra kind, extra warm. Observing the breath with self-compassion. And opening our eyes when we're ready. Feeling that transition as well. And knowing that you've just done something that's good for you. And the fact that you're here is helping others to stay on track. So why do we not practice when we know that it's good for us, and when we have felt benefit, and when we know that it's good for the world as well? So often we feel that there's just too much to do, and there's a sense of urgency. Oh, I've got my long list and I have to get on. And it's true, we need to be organized in our lives, and planning is good, priority setting is good. However, so often that sense of urgency will keep us busy, 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 and the mindfulness practice never gets done in a formal way. So rather than thinking, I'll get my list complete and then I'll meditate, I would suggest that if we meditate first, then we change the neurotransmitters in such a way that that sense of urgency diminishes, and we come into a place where we feel that everything is manageable. So urgency is good because often it helps us to deal with an emergency, a crisis. But most of the time we're better off operating from a calm place of manageability and coping. So when we meditate, as I've described before, the amygdala calms down, the adrenaline and the cortisol levels normalize, and the activity of the brain moves into the left prefrontal cortex, where we feel we can cope, where we can manage our lives. And so often we're more efficient and we're more clever if we're in a mindful state than if we're in a state of urgency. So even if you feel that there's loads to do and you've just got to get cracking, have the discipline to do some formal practice. And if you focus on the senses in a magical way, that brings us into a mindful place. We calm right down and we actually cope with life in a more efficient way, because the brain is operating from a more efficient place. There are other reasons why people don't practice. Sometimes boredom is a way that we disguise fear of something else. So by having the courage to be really honest with ourselves as we're observing, we might uncover what's behind the boredom or the irritation or the impatience that prevents us from practicing. But the big one that I hear in class is, just got so much to do and I don't sit down in the morning, and then I find I'm at the end of the day and I haven't done any formal practice. So when the mind is saying to you, oh, just get on with your list and you can do some practice later, beware. If your mind is saying, get on with your list and do some informal practice around the supermarket, beware. Best thing is to practice first thing, and then you'll find that so often time becomes elastic. You get more done more easily and with a greater sense of joy and comfort. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you soon for another shared practice. Check out omindfulness.com for retreats and personalized meditations, which make great gifts. And I'm very happy to announce that we have a healthy course in Beau Soleil starting on Tuesday evening, and a healthy course in Mouansartou starting Tuesday morning. See you again soon, and have a day full of mindful moments. Thanks for being here.